Lifest, the ultimate party with a purpose, taught me a lot this week. I learned that rock stars in tight jeans with crazy objects poked through their faces and ears can sit down with middle-aged conservative homeschooling moms and overcome the generation gap to share new ideas about God's kingdom. I learned that nuns in full habit can worship joyfully next to orphans from Europe, alongside a Mennonite family of 10, and they can all delight in one another.
I have been attending Lifest since I was 12 years old and cannot even begin to explain how much Lifest has impacted my life. Whenever anyone asks where my favorite place is, I can't ever think of anywhere I would rather be than at Lifest with thousands of others worshiping in the most fun and uplifting ways. After attending Lifest for just 1 week out of the year, it gave me the courage and strength to go out and live for God for the entire year. Love, Tessa Stocker.
I learned that some people like to bathe in horse barns, while others dutifully carry hand sanitizer, and some even wash their muddy feet in muddy puddles, but somehow they all feel clean. I learned that just because you can buy 2 pounds of amazing homemade potato crispers with unbelievable toppings for half price at 1 a.m. doesn't mean you should.
I have attended Lifest for the past 4 years, and it has literally changed my life. If it hadn't been for Lifest, I may never have realized the changes I needed to make or just how amazing being a Christian can be. Every year since then, Lifest has only strengthened my faith, and it always fills me with new hope and life. Sincerely, Aaron.
I learned that a disabled man who can't speak has a lot of valuable things to say, while others, myself included, with loud voices and big opinions, might serve others better by quietly listening. I learned that thousands of people who truly love God and one another can put aside their political and social differences to work diligently side by side and serve multitudes with selfless joy.
After the final concert of the evening, I went to the bonfire and spread out my blanket, laid down with my son against me, and listened to the soft music and rested. My son curled up and slept quietly beside me, and I closed my eyes. I felt that all I had was that blanket, my kids, and whatever was in my car. But in that space was the presence of God, and I knew I had all I needed.
I learned that a pastor from Uganda can praise God next to an American businessman who in turn can pray for a pregnant teenager who in turn can share her faith with a friend who has never met Jesus. I learned that you don't need alcohol or violence to have fun, and that a good old-fashioned deck of cards can unite hundreds of people during a torrential downpour.
Our kids are 7 and 10, and they do not know life without Lifest. Even from their mother's womb, they were already enjoying the marvelous vibrations from stacks of subwoofers. It's been neat watching our oldest daughter grow through 9 years of Kidzone, and now moving on to other stages, soaking up awesome, inspiring messages from so many great speakers. Andrew.
I learned that screamo music is very loud, and I may never quite understand it. But the kids that it moves to tears and the wildly tattooed young men that sing it love Jesus too. I learned that a committed corps of Army National Guard soldiers in full uniform can serve our nation with brave humility and still have the compassion to gently care for a small child and share values of respect, honor, and courage with an unsure teenage boy.
I would like to thank the National Guard for spending their time with our youth. I noticed when we were pulling out of the campground yesterday, it was a National Guard taking down Kidzone. Wow, we are blessed here in Wisconsin to have these awesome men and women. God bless our country and our troops. Bill.
I learned that a few humble women in aprons leading a devoted band of cooks and servers can face an army of hungry people with joy and laughter, never once stopping to think of their own needs. I learned that people are hurting and desperately want to break down walls to be in relationship with one another. I learned that single dads, abandoned moms, and confused teens are looking for common ground and can be reconciled through their faith in Jesus Christ.
We will always have a special place in our hearts for Lifest. The music ministered to each of us in coping with the loss of our spouses, brought us both closer to the Lord, and through his divine use of a sister in the Lord, brought Bill and I together. Sheila.
Bob Lenz and the team at Life Promotions set out to put on a party with a purpose, and I learned from them that the purpose of the party was to unite God's children, People of all races, affiliations, denominations, and cultural differences united in love at the foot of the cross. I learned that reaching out across cultural, financial, and philosophical divides is a personal choice that reminds us as Christians that a watching and skeptical world will know we are Christians only by our love. Well done, faithful servants. I've learned a lot from you all this week. Tricia Propson.
Just happen, silent prayers get answered, broken hearts become brand new. That's what faith can do.